Have you ever felt a tug from something deep inside you, a whisper from a place you can't quite see? It's not your thoughts, not your feelings, but something older, stranger, and yet so very familiar. It's a secret room in your mind, filled with stories and pictures you've never learned, yet somehow you know them. This hidden place shapes your dreams, colors your wishes, and even picks the people you care about. What if I told you that inside each of us lies a vast ocean, not of water, but of shared human experience, memories we've never made, and wisdom that stretches back to the very first sunrise? Imagine your mind as a grand old house. You know, the living room, where you think your daily thoughts, and the kitchen, where your feelings bubble up. But what about the dusty attic, filled with forgotten treasures, or the deep, dark cellar, where shadows dance? These are the hidden parts, the secret chambers of your mind that hold more power than you might guess. They hum with ancient songs, tell tales of heroes and monsters, and hold clues to who you truly are and why you do the things you do. It's a mystery, isn't it? A puzzle buried within your own head. What if we could open the door to that mystery, just a crack, and peek inside? What wonders, what truths might we find waiting for us there? This secret room, this vast ocean within us, wasn't just a poetic idea to one brilliant mind. A man named Carl Jung dared to step into these hidden chambers, not with a flashlight, but with a lantern of deep thought and a heart full of wonder. He was a doctor who studied the mind, just like Sigmund Freud, his friend and teacher. But Jung saw more. He felt the ancient whispers were not just personal memories, but something much bigger, something shared by all people, everywhere, across all time. Jung was like an explorer who looked beyond the known maps of the mind. While others focused on what happened in our own lives to shape us, Jung believed there was a deeper layer, a foundation built by generations upon generations of human experience. He saw patterns in dreams, stories, and art from different cultures that were too similar to be a coincidence. It was as if everyone was drawing from the same well of shared wisdom and pictures. This made him a thinker who saw magic in the everyday and meaning in the seemingly random. He wasn't just talking about feelings or thoughts. He was talking about the very soul of humanity, etched into our deepest selves. He opened a door to understanding ourselves not just as individuals, but as tiny pieces of a grand, ancient tapestry. This deep, shared wisdom that Jung spoke of has a special name: the collective unconscious. Think of it like a giant, invisible library inside everyone's mind. But it's not a library with books you read in school. Instead, it's filled with ancient stories, pictures, and feelings that all humans have ever known. It's a shared dream world, a universal memory bank that connects us all, even if we've never met. Imagine you're dreaming. Sometimes your dreams are about your day, your friends, or what you ate for dinner. That's your personal mind at work. But then, sometimes, you dream of a wise old wizard guiding you, or a scary monster chasing you, or a beautiful queen on a throne. Where do these big, powerful images come from? Jung would say they come from the collective unconscious. It's like a secret channel, a shared pool of human experience that we all tap into without even knowing it. It's why people from different corners of the world, who have never talked to each other, can tell stories that sound so much alike. They might have different clothes or names, but the main ideas, the hero, the helper, the bad guy, are the same. This shared dream world is always there, beneath our everyday thoughts, ready to pop up in our minds and show us things we didn't know we knew. So, how do these ancient stories from the collective unconscious show up in our own lives? Think about the story of a hero. Almost every culture, every country, has a tale about a hero. This hero often starts in a normal place, then something big happens that calls them to adventure. They might not want to go at first, but a wise old person or a magical helper shows them the way. They face dangers, fight a monster, or solve a hard puzzle. In the end, they come back changed, stronger, and often with a gift for their community. This isn't just a fun story, it's a map. It's the hero's journey, And it plays out in our own lives all the time. Maybe you started a new school, or took on a big project, or even faced a fear. That's your own hero's journey beginning. The doubts you feel, the help you get from a friend, the tough times you overcome, these are all parts of that ancient pattern playing out in your modern life. It's the same story, just with new faces and new places. Jung saw these deep patterns not just in old myths, but in the way we live our lives, the choices we make, and the challenges we face every single day. It's proof that the collective unconscious isn't just in our dreams. It's alive and well in our waking world, guiding our steps in ways we often don't even notice. Within this grand library of the collective unconscious, those repeating characters and patterns have a special name: archetypes. Think of archetypes as basic molds or blueprints for characters that show up in all our stories and dreams. They are not actual people, but rather universal ideas of people or roles. For example, remember the wise old person who helps the hero? That's an archetype, often called the wise old man or wise woman. You see them in stories as Merlin, Gandalf, or a kindly grandmother. They represent wisdom, guidance, and spiritual knowledge. They pop up in our lives too, perhaps as a helpful teacher, a supportive elder, or even a sudden good idea that feels like it came from nowhere. Then there's the hero archetype, like the brave figure who goes on adventures and overcomes challenges. This isn't just Superman or Hercules. It's also the part of us that wants to be brave, to stand up for what's right, or to achieve something great. These archetypes are like deep grooves in our minds, passed down through time. They are not taught but are born within us. They give shape to our understanding of the world and the people in it. When we meet someone, or hear a story, or even dream, our minds often fit them into these ancient patterns, making sense of the world through these timeless figures. They are the universal language of the soul, speaking to us through symbols and characters that feel instantly familiar, no matter where we come from. These archetypes aren't just old tales. They are alive and dancing all around us, and especially within us. Think about your dreams. Sometimes, a dream character feels so real, so important, even if you've never met them. Maybe you dream of a shadow figure, a dark shape that scares you. That could be the shadow archetype, representing the parts of yourself you hide or don't like. Or perhaps a beautiful, mysterious person appears, like a fairy or a spirit, representing the anima, or animus, the hidden opposite side of your inner self. Beyond dreams, look at the movies and books we love. Why are some characters so captivating? It's often because they tap into these archetypal patterns. The villain who challenges the hero, the nurturing mother figure, the rebellious outcast, we recognize them instantly because their molds already exist in our collective unconscious. And then, there are the people we meet every day. The teacher who inspires you with wisdom might be playing the role of the wise old man. The friend who always makes you laugh and brings joy might embody the jester, or trickster. Even the difficult boss or person who challenges you might be reflecting an archetypal opponent to help you grow stronger. These aren't just labels. They're ways our minds try to understand the world, filtering our experiences through these ancient, universal lenses. They help us find meaning in the patterns of life, showing us that our individual stories are part of a much grander, timeless narrative. Understanding these archetypes, these ancient patterns, isn't just a fun way to look at myths. It's a powerful tool for understanding ourselves and everyone around us. When we realize that some of our strongest feelings or actions might be driven by an archetype, it can shed a whole new light on why we do what we do. For instance, if you often feel a strong pull to protect others, you might be acting out the parent or caregiver archetype, even if you don't have children of your own. This isn't a weakness. It's a deep-seated pattern of caring that is part of the human story. It also helps us make sense of others. Why does that one person always seem to challenge authority? Perhaps they are channeling the rebel archetype. Why is another so nurturing and helpful? They might be expressing the Caregiver. This isn't to say people are just puppets of archetypes, but rather that these patterns are like deep currents in the ocean of our minds, gently pushing us in certain directions. When we see these universal roles at play, we can be more understanding, more patient, and even more forgiving of ourselves and others. We begin to see that our individual struggles and triumphs are part of a much larger, shared human dance, making us feel less alone in our journey. It's like finding the hidden script that explains some of life's most puzzling behaviors. When we start seeing these archetypes and the collective unconscious at work, the world around us changes. It stops being just a collection of random events and starts to feel like a deeply meaningful story. Jung's ideas invite us to look for hidden meanings, to notice the magic woven into the fabric of our everyday lives. A sudden flash of insight, a powerful dream that guides you, a feeling of deep connection with a stranger. These moments might seem small, but through Jung's lens, they become whispers from the deep, ancient parts of your mind. They are hints, symbols, and messages from the collective unconscious, trying to tell you something important. The world isn't just matter and logic, it's also filled with spirit and symbol. This way of seeing makes the ordinary feel extraordinary. A bird singing outside your window isn't just a bird, it might represent freedom or a message of hope. A difficult challenge isn't just a problem, it might be your own hero's journey calling you to grow. Jung taught us to pay attention, to listen to the subtle language of the soul. When we do, life becomes richer, deeper, and full of a quiet wonder. It's like discovering that the whole world is a living poem, and you are both the reader and a character within it, constantly uncovering new layers of meaning. This perspective doesn't just explain things, it makes the very act of living feel more enchanted. Let's look at a simple example of how understanding an archetype can truly help someone. Imagine a young person who always feels like they don't belong. They might try to fit in, but deep down, they feel different, an outsider. This feeling makes them sad and lonely, and they don't know why. They might even feel angry at times, wishing they could be like everyone else. Now, what if they learned about the outcast, or a rebel, archetype? This archetype isn't about being bad, it's about being unique, someone who stands apart, often to bring new ideas or challenge old ways. When this young person understands that their feeling of being different isn't a flaw but a powerful, ancient pattern, it changes everything. They might realize that their anger is a sign of their strength, a desire to be true to themselves. Their loneliness might be the quiet space needed for new ideas to grow. Instead of fighting this feeling, they can embrace it. They might start to see their uniqueness as a gift, finding power in their independence. This understanding helps them turn a confusing, painful feeling into a source of strength and purpose. They might even find others who also identify with this archetype, forming new, deeper connections. It's like being handed a map to a hidden part of yourself, helping you navigate your inner world with more wisdom and less fear. This is the real magic of Jung's ideas. They give us a way to heal by understanding the deep, symbolic stories living inside us. This journey into the collective unconscious and the world of archetypes offers something truly special, a profound feeling of connection. When we realize that our deepest patterns, our struggles, and our triumphs are not just our own, but are echoes of stories told for thousands of years by countless people, a sense of belonging washes over us. No longer do we feel like a lone boat on a vast ocean. Instead, we see ourselves as part of a great fleet, all sailing on the same ancient currents. The hero's journey you're on, the wisdom you seek, the challenges you face, these are shared human experiences. The outcast, who finds their strength, the caregiver, who nurtures, the wise old man, who guides, these are roles that have been played by so many before us, and will be played by so many after. This understanding melts away the feeling of being utterly unique in our suffering or joy. It shows us that beneath our different languages, cultures, and daily lives, we all share the same basic human heart, the same ancient soul. It's a comforting thought, isn't it? To know that the feelings and patterns within you are part of a universal dance, connecting you to every person who has ever lived and will ever live. It's a bond that runs deeper than words, a quiet understanding that we are all, in essence, telling the same grand story together. This connection can bring a deep peace and a sense of shared humanity that makes the world feel like a true home. This deep connection we feel, once we glimpse the collective unconscious, leads us to a powerful truth. Looking within ourselves is not just about fixing problems, but about growing into a more complete, more whole person. It's like tending a garden. If you only focus on the flowers you can see, you miss the rich soil, the hidden roots, and the tiny seeds waiting to sprout. When we explore our inner world, we learn to accept all parts of ourselves, not just the bright, sunny parts, but also the shadowy bits, the doubts, and the fears. These shadows aren't bad, they are just unloved or unknown parts that need our attention. By understanding our own archetypal patterns, we can learn to work with them, rather than fighting against them. For example, if you find yourself constantly wanting to please others, you might be driven by a people-pleaser pattern. Recognizing this isn't about blaming yourself, but about gently asking, what part of me needs to be seen or heard, instead of just trying to make others happy? This gentle inquiry helps you bring balance, allowing you to honor your own needs while still caring for others. It's a journey of bringing together all the different pieces of who you are, making them work in harmony. This process, which Jung called individuation, is about becoming truly yourself, not just who others want you to be. It makes you feel stronger, more balanced, and deeply at peace, like a tree whose roots reach deep into the earth, allowing it to stand tall and full. Jung saw the human mind not as a simple machine, but as a vast, shimmering cosmos. It is a place of endless depth, like the deepest ocean, where ancient currents flow and hidden treasures rest. Imagine it as a cathedral built not of stone, but of dreams, where the light of consciousness streams through stained glass windows of myth and symbol. Each beam of light, each colorful picture, tells a story that echoes through time. It is a garden where the flowers of thought bloom, but beneath them lie the ancient roots of instinct and intuition, connecting us to the very earth and sky. In this garden, shadows are not things to fear, but fertile ground where new growth can begin, waiting for the gentle rain of awareness. The mind, as Jung understood it, is a living, breathing mystery, full of both darkness and brilliant light, a place where the individual spirit meets the universal soul. It holds the echoes of every sunrise and sunset our ancestors witnessed, the courage of every hero, and the wisdom of every sage. It is a canvas where our personal story is painted upon a backdrop of cosmic tales. To explore it is to wander through a timeless forest, where every tree has a voice and every path leads to a deeper understanding of the magical dance between you and the universe. This profound and beautiful mystery, this is the human mind through Jung's eyes. This deep exploration into the mind's beautiful mystery leads us to Jung's most important idea, the journey of individuation. It's a big word, but it simply means becoming your whole, true self. It's not about being selfish or perfect, but about finding and living out the unique person you were meant to be, guided by those inner patterns and wisdom. Think of it like a sculptor carving a statue. The stone already holds the shape within it, and the sculptor's job is to carefully chip away everything that isn't part of that true form. In the same way, individuation is about peeling back the layers of what others expect of you, what society tells you to be, and even the parts of yourself you've hidden away. It's about listening to the whispers of your soul, to the archetypes that stir within you, telling you what you truly need to become. This journey isn't always easy. It means facing your shadow, those parts of yourself you don't like, and bringing them into the light. It means understanding your inner hero, your inner artist, your inner wise one, and letting them guide your path. It's a lifelong process, a slow unfolding, like a flower opening petal by petal. But with each step, you become more real, more balanced, and more deeply connected to the universal wisdom that lives within you. It's the ultimate adventure, the journey to find and become yourself. Now, To truly understand Jung's unique vision, it helps to see how it differed from his mentor, Sigmund Freud. Imagine two explorers looking at the same mountain. Freud, like a careful mapmaker, focused on the valleys and rivers carved by personal experiences, especially from childhood. He saw the mind as largely shaped by our own past hurts and desires, like a story written only by our personal memories. He was brilliant, no doubt, in showing us the hidden forces of our individual minds. But Jung, after walking with Freud for a time, felt there was a whole other side to the mountain, a higher, more ancient peak. He respected Freud's work but believed it didn't go deep enough. Jung looked beyond the personal story to the universal story. While Freud focused on what made us different because of our own life, Jung looked at what made us the same, what connected us all through shared human experience and spirit. He saw the mind not just as a product of our personal past, but as a vessel carrying the wisdom of all humanity. Jung believed that our dreams and feelings were not just about our own desires, but also messages from a deeper, spiritual place, guiding us towards wholeness. He wasn't just interested in fixing what was broken in a person, he was interested in helping them grow into their full, magnificent potential, tapping into a wellspring of ancient power and shared human spirit. It was this wider, more mystical view, this focus on the collective and the spiritual, that eventually led to the breakup of these two great minds, opening the way for Jung to share his own profound and beautiful insights with the world. So, as we've journeyed through Jung's ideas, one powerful truth keeps shining through: our minds are not empty vessels waiting to be filled, nor are they just a collection of our own personal memories. No, each one of us carries within a treasure chest of ancient wisdom, a library of universal stories, and a compass pointing towards our true self. It's all there, waiting. Imagine your inner world as an old, wise forest. You might only see the trees near the path, but deep inside, there are ancient groves, hidden springs, and creatures that have lived there for ages. This is the collective unconscious, a place where the experiences of all humanity are stored, not as facts, but as living patterns and symbols. This wisdom isn't something you have to go out and find in books or lectures, though those can help. It's already woven into the very fabric of your being. This ancient wisdom speaks to you in whispers, through your dreams, in the symbols that catch your eye, in the feelings that rise from deep within you, and even in the stories you are drawn to. It's a guiding hand, a source of strength, and a map to becoming the most complete version of yourself. Jung teaches us that we are never truly alone, for within us lies the spirit of all humanity, ready to offer guidance and meaning to our unique journey. All we need to do is learn to listen, to open our eyes to the magic that has always been inside. Now that we've glimpsed the wondrous depth of the mind as Jung saw it, what can you do with this knowledge? The first, and perhaps most powerful, step is to simply begin paying attention. Open your inner eyes and ears to the subtle language of your soul. Start with your dreams. Before you fall asleep, quietly ask your mind to remember your dreams. Keep a little notebook by your bed and write down whatever you recall, even if it seems silly or broken. Don't try to understand it right away, just capture it. These dreams are like letters from your inner self, full of symbols and stories from the collective unconscious, offering guidance and insight into your waking life. Beyond dreams, look at the world around you with new eyes. What symbols catch your attention? Does a certain animal suddenly appear often? Do you keep noticing a particular color or shape? These aren't just random events, they could be echoes from your deeper mind, trying to communicate with you. The world is alive with meaning, if only we learn to see it. Pay attention to the stories you love, the characters you connect with. They, too, are reflections of the archetypes within you. By noticing these whispers and signs, you begin a beautiful dialogue with your own ancient wisdom. You start to see the magical patterns that have always been there, just waiting for you to look a little closer. This act of paying attention is the key to unlocking the treasure chest within. As you begin to pay attention, to listen to the whispers of your inner world and the symbols around you, a deeper conversation starts. It's a conversation between your everyday self and the vast, ancient wisdom that lies beneath. This isn't just about finding answers, but about uncovering the questions that truly matter. So, as we close this journey into Jung's profound insights, I invite you to pause. Take a quiet moment, right now, to simply breathe and look within. What feelings stir in the quiet corners of your heart? What images flash across your mind's eye when you're not busy? What stories, old or new, feel like they're trying to tell you something important about yourself, about your path? Think about that dream you had last night, or the symbol you keep seeing, or that strange feeling you can't quite explain. What hidden parts of your own mind are trying to tell you something? What ancient wisdom, what guiding archetype, is gently trying to lead you toward becoming more of who you truly are? The answers may not come in loud shouts, but in soft nudges, in quiet understandings, in a feeling of knowing that comes from deep within. All you have to do is listen. And so, dear friend, remember this: the journey into your inner world, guided by the wisdom of Carl Jung, is not a path of fear or confusion. It is, instead, a grand adventure of discovery, a gentle unfolding of who you truly are. There's no need to rush, no need to force understanding. Just be curious. This exploration is a gift you give yourself. It's about finding the hidden strengths you never knew you had, understanding the patterns that shape your life, and feeling a deep connection to all of humanity. You are not just a person living a small life. You are a living, breathing part of an ancient, ongoing story. Within you lies a universe of wisdom, beauty, and strength, waiting patiently for you to notice it. So walk gently, listen closely, and trust the whispers from within. Know that every dream, every feeling, every symbol holds a piece of your unique truth. This journey of self-understanding is the most important one you will ever take, and it promises not just answers, but a richer, more meaningful, and deeply connected life. May you find comfort and wonder in the exploration of your own magnificent mind. Thank you for joining me on this reflective journey.